you ever felt like you wish to be more eco-friendly, but you're not quite sure what the next step is going to be after you turn off the lights when you leave the room, or you're trying to save water while brushing? Don't worry, I got you covered. In this video, we'll be delving into easy ways that aren't too much of an effort and isn't overwhelming that could help us become more eco-friendly in our everyday lives. Alright, let's get started. This sounds like it's really complicated, but it's really not. Plus, it saves you a lot of money. Most cleaning products come in plastic containers which we throw away when we are done using them. Plus, they contain a lot of chemicals that I can't even pronounce. When we make our own cleaning products, we know exactly what goes into them. Plus, we can also tweak the recipes that suit us. As a bonus, we don't need to throw the plastic containers on the go. So here's a simple and effective recipe that I found on the internet which works great for window cleaners, table cleaners, and etc. So I combined all the ingredients, and as you can see, after adding the baking soda, it rises and bubbles, which makes it perfect for a cleaner. So you already know what composting is, and it might seem a little intimidating to start in the beginning, but here's a quick beginner's tip. Save all your banana peels by not tossing them in the dustbin and use it directly on your plants. All you need to do is sun dry them and voila! Your plants love them because it is a great plant food. During the summer and the hot months, it is a blessing to line dry our clothes outside. Not to mention, the clothing and the bedding last longer when we hang them outside. Oh, plus the energy and the bill that we save is a bonus. We've heard our mothers say this all the time, and even today when I go to keep my plate, I see my mother standing beside with a stern look on her face, which tells me there's no room for negotiation. Well, but on a serious note, food wastage is a serious issue globally since we are wasting mountains of food every day. So all that it requires is cooking in moderated quantities and finishing our plate. Simple. When I see my jam bottles or my sauce bottles getting over, I instantly see the possibility of propagating new plants or just using it for storing leftovers or storing it for sausages. But sometimes removing the labels could be a little tricky. So here's an effective tip. So I applied this mixture over the label and left it for around 15 minutes. Then the label comes off super quickly. Yay! So my mother always packed the rotis, idlis in the good old muslin cloth, which is a great alternative to the aluminium foils, cling wraps, or even parchment papers. They take years to biodegrade, and also they are not healthy for the person who is consuming food in them. Why buy when you can DIY? In one of my videos, I shared how we can make our own lip balms at home naturally. Or this planter that you see is actually a fruit basket, or the amki peti that you see nowadays. We can DIY absolutely everything under the sun, like we made our own cleaning products or making our own nut butters at home. But the only thing to remember is do anything that seems comfortable to your lifestyle. You don't need to go out of your way and overwhelm yourself. When we DIY, we are consuming less and basically having lesser carbon footprints. A substantial amount of water that is wasted in the kitchen comes largely from washing lentils, rice, potatoes, pasta. But did you know that this water is rich in starch, which supports the growth of beneficial soil bacteria? So utilizing it for plants is a great source of providing those nutrients and also saving tons of water. But here's a little word of caution to never use water for plants that has added salt in it. Used paper towels, napkins, wet wipes cannot be recycled and they end up in the landfills. Plus, it takes lots of waters and trees to grow paper, which we use it in seconds and throw it away. Towels is the most sustainable option as it works for much longer, does a better job, and there's no waste. So I remember we had this basic stitching competition in school and I secured the second position in it. But what fascinated me was I was surprised with the possibilities with just a needle and a thread. I could mend in holes, sew in buttons, and those life skills have come handy to me even today. I've saved in a lot of money and I mend in my tees, my jeans, my bags, and when I can't, I obviously take help of my tailor or cobbler. But I try really hard to not discard. And I think even you can try it, and it's very easy and it saves on a lot of clothes that we could have tossed away. So if you're a coffee drinker, then making the switch to a reusable coffee cup is not only a great eco-friendly option, but many people agree that coffee tastes much better when it does not come out of a paper cup or a plastic cup. Plastic straws are among the greatest contributors of single-use plastic, and therefore a steel straw is the best eco-friendly alternative that is available, and that is also something that you can do right now. It's super easy and also affordable. Plus, it also comes with a cleaner which makes it super hygienic. Okay, you might tell me, Vanshi, do you really think you need to tell us this? Okay, I get it. But this is what used to happen to me. Whenever I used to go out, I used to forget to tag them along because I was always rushing up. The only thing that I thought of taking was just my phone and my wallet. But this is what I did. I used to keep the bag next to my door and also along with that, a water bottle. So that way I never forget to take it. So there's been a lot of hype lately around shampoo bars, and I think it could be a little overwhelming initially to make that switch. So the more realistic approach is when you go for shopping next time for your shampoos, look for bigger bottles like this. This serves me around good 1.5–2 years, and by doing so, I save the extra bottles that I would have thrown if I would have bought the smaller ones. So this works for me as I don't usually change my shampoos a lot. So if this is something that suits your lifestyle, you can definitely give this a shot. Also, did you know that the best way to use a shampoo is to liquidate it using water? I'm not saying it, dermatologists say that. Okay, so this one's completely optional, and I would really hate if any practice among these overwhelms you to adopt sustainability. But has it been the case for you too that these balti baths or these bucket baths has been a staple memory of your childhood? Well, I used to love them, and it's a habit that I've picked up very recently. I think it's been 1.5–2 years. By using bucket baths, I exactly know how much water that I'm using or I'm wasting as opposed to those showers. Even when electrical appliances are shut off or on sleep mode, they are still using energy. Not using them, which could otherwise be plugged off, could save loads of energy, electricity, and also electricity bills. Our consumption of resources, right from the food we eat, the clothes we wear, the makeup, gadgets, the transportation system we use, everything has a carbon footprint. But that does not necessarily mean that we stop using them or buying them. But all I mean is buy things that you truly need and skip the ones that you don't. I mean, that's a no-brainer, but sometimes it's easy to fall prey to impulse buy, and here's just a gentle reminder. Generations ago, the only option that people had for shopping was to buy local. For example, my dadima used to eat fruits and vegetables that they grew in their backyards, or bought the clothing, the goods, the tools that were handmade in their town. She even stitched her clothes sometimes. But the only way that we can get closest to those days is by shopping local, or for example, getting the fruits and vegetables from the nearest farmer's market. By doing so, we are reducing the miles that the food needs to reach to our plate. So on this channel, I've created a lot of videos that speak about slow and sustainable fashion, which is all about having a small closet and about buying less, choosing well, and making it last. So if that's your jam, I'd really love if you could stick around. I'll share some links in the description box below. You can check them out after this video. Alright folks, this is it for this video. I really hope you found this video helpful, and I really hope I didn't overwhelm you with the tips. But every year, 5th of June is celebrated as the World Environment Day, and I thought why not share with you some eco-friendly swaps that we all could resort to and aren't much of an effort. I really hope you felt that same way, and I'm also very curious to know if there are any new tips that you'd like to share. Please put them down in the comment section below. I'm looking forward to reading them, and thanks a lot for stopping by. I make videos on topics like sustainability and slow fashion, so if that sounds like your jam, please consider subscribing.